One and three.
Good morning. Whoa, there we go.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the old folks
Yeah,
show.
exactly.
If we have to get up, you'll hear it because we'll make that sound
Yeah.
that old guys make. I am feeling kind of old today. Yeah, let's just jump into it. Welcome. This is
This is
Roundtable.
Roundtable. I didn't realize you were live already. I thought we were testing the sound.
Yeah, we're live and going.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah. So right off the bat, let's just start with I didn't DJ
No.
MC
MC.
car show in
Yeah.
Ruidoso, the big Run for Ruidoso show,
Uh-huh.
which is always a blast, always fun.
That's huge. And it's a huge one, too.
But oh my god, it is physically the most demanding DJ job, MC job that I do all year long.
Describe how you described it to me, because this is just, wow.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Oh, just setting it up is a
Yeah.
pain. I my speakers are each 100 feet away from me, up a flight of steps on the backside of the Inn of the Mountain Gods. So yeah, one set of my speakers is 63 pounds each. Got to take them up one speaker at a time up this flight of steps, which doesn't seem like a lot until you're putting that sort of weight on you.
Uh-huh.
And the other set is about 75 pounds per speaker. Big 1,000-watt speakers. One of them they're smaller. The other one they're much bigger and more high-end speaker sound. So they spread, especially with speaking.
Yeah.
With MC stuff, it spreads your voice out so well.
And you were saying, because carrying these speakers, you have to go up steps, so it's not
Oh,
like
yeah.
you can use a hand truck to help you get it up.
No.
You get it up there.
That makes it doubly hard.
Yeah. So
You sit there, you stare at the end of these stairs, and you take a deep breath and just brace yourself and just start hitting it. Yeah, it's like Rocky if Rocky was carrying Mickey on his back. That sort of a thing. But no, it was a blast.
Yeah.
Big long day of just being out there, visiting with people I haven't seen forever, meeting new people I haven't seen forever. We had cars that I've never seen show up. I believe that the guy that traveled the furthest was from somewhere in Southern California,
Oh my gosh.
all the way out to Ruidoso, New Mexico, for a
Wow.
car show, and that's what he came for, was a car show.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was a blast. Plus, CL Smith and the Rockabilly Strangers were playing,
Oh yeah.
and those guys are freaking unbelievable.
That is cool.
So
That is
good.
really cool.
And they don't just do rockabilly; they do everything. So they're mixing in some country, they're mixing in some weird stuff that I don't know quite what it was, some oldies. Of course, my dad was out there, and his favorite song is When They Do Highway Patrol, so they had to do that for him.
Oh, wow.
And of course, he wandered off to look at the cars and didn't hear it when they played it. But
Oh.
we're looking at getting them on the show. They come on the show. They promise they'll play it on the show, so
Oh,
he
cool.
can hear it whenever he wants, because that'll be on the YouTube channel. It'll be on the show.
We'll have to get your patio ready for that, because they're not gonna fit in here.
We could, but I'd rather
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll get it there one way or
That'd
another.
be cool.
But yeah, it's they're a blast, and it was so much fun, and seeing everybody that I hadn't seen in forever. It was cool. A lot of people that they look great. Some people that their health is starting to wave a little bit because they're
Yeah.
older, but still, everybody was just so happy to be out and be able to
I
be at
agree.
the show.
I totally get that.
Yeah, it was hard not doing the show last year.
Yeah.
Because we just have fun. The band is amazing. I've been doing it for didn't do it last year, but did it the 2 years previous.
Yeah.
Every year with the Rockabilly Strangers. So getting to hear them play is always awesome. This group they take the leash off of me. I get to be my full smart mouth self. Oh,
Not
yeah.
sure that's a good idea, but okay.
Well, nobody's complained. Nobody's called the authorities.
Okay.
I've never been charged with a with an obscenity charge yet.
No
So
more than 3 threats.
we'll keep it under that. Yeah.
Okay, then if you can keep it under 3 threats, then you're doing pretty good.
I've actually got a lot of very nice compliments
that's
from
good.
people. So
That's great.
yeah, it's a blast.
Very
And
cool.
it may be either the last show or the second to last show that I'll be doing this season. We will see. There is a car show supposed to be coming up in TRC at the Veterans Home. I've heard some rumors that I'm trying to track down what the truth is as to whether the show's happening or not, and we'll just see. But
That's great.
but
Yeah.
it's neat to hang out with these guys and get to see them. I've grown up in the car scene out here, so I've grown up around a bunch of these guys. And of course I've got to see some of the younger kids that have come in, and it's neat. There was a girl there. She had it was a 67 or 68 Challenger, and she won the award for youngest driver. And by the way,
that's an award.
It's a little bit iffy because she was not driving. Her daddy was driving, but it is her car. She's the one that saved up, got the car, worked on it. He helped her, but she worked on it. She got it restored, got it where she wants it. 15 years old,
wow.
And she is into Detroit steel.
Oh my gosh.
You gotta love
rare. That is rare.
She's not one of these Euro girls. She's definitely into the American muscle. And so that was neat.
Very cool. And you were there how long? How long of a day was that?
Oh, let's see. I got there later than normal. I got there about 8 a.m. And we finished up. I think I pulled out of there about 4:30.
Wow.
So it was a full day.
That's cool.
But lots of fun. End of the Mountain Gods got stuff working right. They had food out there. They even had, very close to where I was, they had a little area set up with a kiosk for selling alcohol. So people were getting their beers. They were getting their Bloody Marys.
Really?
I don't know why you would drink a Bloody Mary on a regular day, but especially not out in the sun. But but hey, everybody's got their thing.
Mm-hmm.
So there is that.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I really wanted to go see Daisy Blue. She played at Amaro Sunday, and I just couldn't make it out of the house. I was the idea of going outside into the sunlight. It's like no, I turned into a sudden vampire.
Yeah.
Good month for it, but still.
Oh my gosh.
And you were playing this weekend as well.
Yeah, I played at Amaro on Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
Went great. It was so much fun. That always is.
Yeah.
And then Saturday and Sunday, I got to play at the Mesilla Valley Maze. I did not know this place existed, and I've been here 8 years, and I felt pretty bad. It was so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter showed up. My daughter went there Saturday, so that my granddaughter can hear me. But my granddaughter was having so much fun. She was off running around on the slide. She heard maybe one song, and that's because her mother made her sit and eat her hot dog. And then she got up and left and went to play. And I said, I thought you were going to listen to Grandpa. And she's like, I can still hear you, Grandpa. She was up on the slide. She was jumping. And there were kids everywhere running around, having a great time. A whole lot of kids laughing and just screaming out of just having fun. And it was such a great atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a great time. I had a great time playing both days. I get to do it again in a couple weeks, and I'm looking forward to it because this place is fun. There's a whole lot of stuff for the kids to do, and everything involves physical activity, climbing, jumping, running, pushing, sliding. It's fun. It is great because of all the things the kids get to do, and it's all playing, physical activity. It's just great. It was great. I had a great time, and I played pretty good too. So that's a bonus.
That's definitely a bonus. Yeah.
And the weather was fantastic. A Friday night was
Oh,
absolutely
it was.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I
I was supposed to be finishing up the last stuff to get ready, and
Yeah.
I came out and listened to you instead.
Yeah, I saw you. You were there and you were like, "I'm taking a break."
Yeah, it was too much.
I'm taking a break. So yeah, and it was just a beautiful night, and there were a lot of people there, and I met some new people, and I had some people that follow me, which is really nice to see that. I really appreciate
It's kind
that.
of a weird thing when that starts happening,
Yeah,
isn't
you
it?
start seeing the same people when you play, and I think that's just wonderful. It's you know, I really appreciate that, and I had a great time. You know, they do a every time I go there, it feels like home.
Mhm.
It's like, and I tell the story that, you know, about, it was November 1st of last year that Amaro gave me the choice, gave me the chance when nobody else would.
Right.
And I started getting, I'm at where I am because they gave me the chance. And I always try to play as often as, and every time she asks me, unless I'm already booked, I'm in there. Cause normally I don't want to book 2 days in a row.
Right.
But and I already had the Maze booked for Saturday and Sunday, but when she asked me, I was like, "I can't say no."
Right.
Yeah, so but I'm
Oh,
glad
yeah.
I did, and I felt great, and even on Sunday, I was
Mhm.
still, you know, singing just fine, so I've gotten my voice to the point where I can do that, so it was a good
Yeah.
test for me, and I was really happy.
Well, you've been working your muscle regularly.
Oh, man, yeah.
It's one of the things. Blake Shelton, when he first started out, he was talking about after he did his first major tour, which was a year and a half that he was on the road,
Mhm.
and they were talking to him about it. It says, you know, how do you feel this new album is going to be compared to your last album? And he says, better. He says, my voice is better because my
Mhm.
voice is stronger
Yeah,
because of all the singing I've been doing.
yeah,
And yeah, you build up that resistance, you build up that muscle.
absolutely. My wife is dealing with that right now because she wants to start singing more again. When we do our podcast, for our channel, we start with a song, and she's been singing, you know, kind of back up with me.
Hmm.
And then a couple weeks ago, I made her sing the lead, and she was not happy. Everybody thought I thought she sounded fine, and I think she sounds good, but she was not happy with the way she sounded because she hasn't used her voice in so many years.
Right.
Because when I met her, she was singing every day. Um, and she was actually, because we were in LA, and she had at the time was working with doing some stuff, recordings, and for someone that of course all fell through at the time, but she was singing every day. So there were times where we'd sing together just, you know, around the house, and it was wow, I was impressed. And now she hasn't used it in almost 20 years.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
now she's really sick because, you know, singing once a week in church, you know, with other people, it's okay. And now she's got to really focus on it. So she's doing a lot more. So it's cute to hear her. I'm outing her on this, but she'll sit in her office and I can hear her singing along with because she plays music, you know, all day long, and I
Hmm.
can hear her singing with songs, and I'm like, that's the only way she's gonna get it back to shape.
Yes.
So it's fun.
Oh yeah. And it's the easiest way to get back
Yeah,
into shape.
exactly. Yeah, and you have to.
Yeah. Very cool. So yeah, we've got that.
Yeah, and
And yeah, you're gonna be hitting it again. This whole month you're gonna be busy.
yeah, this Friday I will be at Lacombs.
Hmm.
That'll be my last show of the season here. And then I believe the next show I'm doing is the 29th at Salute.
That's cool.
I'm loving doing that. I'm loving that.
Salute is awesome.
It
It's
is.
really
It's a neat
cool.
atmosphere. It's a great patio. It's great. And they have me set up for November and December also. But they're
Oh,
one of the
cool.
places they close in that patio so it
Yes.
doesn't get so cold. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Because when I first a long time ago when I first decided to do it, the guy said, yeah, we're going to be booking out. It'll be like, you know, maybe February. And I went on I guess my eyes told him, like, are you out of your mind? And he goes, oh, don't worry. We close it in and it stays warm in here. I was like, oh, okay. Because I've done shows. I mean, I did shows at Amaro. Gosh, I did one in November, and that was the day after Halloween. It was a little cold. And then she had me out the following month in December, and it was just flat out cold. Nobody showed up. So it was, it's, you know, it gets it. They have those now. They have better space heaters.
Yeah.
So we'll see how this winter goes, because there's a few places that will still be able to do it.
Yeah.
And keep everybody, because I don't know. You listen to people, it's like it's going to be a brutal winter, And then you start thinking, well, it may not be that brutal because we had such a severe summer. I don't know.
Mhm. Well, it also depends on what your definition of brutal is.
Good point. We came from Missouri, so the last winter we spent there, we had 18 inches of snow. So
Yeah.
in 2 days.
Yeah. So this is our nerd show,
Okay.
but Trevor is not joining us today. He's homesick. So Trevor, hope you get to feeling better.
Yeah, feel better.
And who knows, we may do an extra show this month.
Yeah.
As a special Halloween show anyway.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So yeah, there may be something cool coming on where we can get him back on here.
That'd be cool.
Because there's a whole other aspect of nerd culture that involves, you know, horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got some stuff on horror movies today as well. I did one thing really nerdy I wanted to point out. Blue Origin is going to be sending one of their ships into well, not quite orbit, to the edge of space.
Mm-hmm.
And in the process, they will be taking the oldest person ever to fly so far.
I read this.
Did you read this?
Go ahead.
William Shatner.
I was like, no way. He's actually going to go into space. Probably the most popular space traveling individual in the world. And he's finally going to get to go into space.
Oh, yeah. 90 years old.
Wow.
Probably not get to hook up with any green women.
No.
Although, you know, if you land in Austin, I wouldn't completely rule it out.
You know, it's funny. You look at that because you watch the movie The Right Stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And what those astronauts had to go through.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, you hear about all the things that they had to go through to go into space because they figured that, you know, the human body had to be able to endure all the. And now look, a 90-year-old man is going into space.
Oh, yeah.
And then there was on the space station, wasn't there somebody in his 60s?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And so it's wow, they felt, okay, this is not as bad as we thought it was going to be.
Well, also understand things have changed from, you know, the Right Stuff era.
Yeah, because they knew nothing.
Yeah.
They didn't know. So they had to, you know, go with what data they had, information they had. And it was because of those space flights that they were able to say, you know what, they don't have to do all this. They don't have to be like this. So yeah,
and there's ways to work around those G-forces when you launch. There's ways to land that's a little bit softer than, you know, parachutes
splashing
on a
into
capsule,
the ocean.
unless of course you're Russian, in which case their typical way is to have their ships on parachute land in the steppe. But hey, they're Russians. don't want to mess with them too much, you know.
Yeah, no, there's some vodka on that one.
Oh yeah. Something.
He's like, are you ready for splashing out? Yeah, go ahead.
I think I'd be wrapping myself in bubble wrap before impact. So that's just me. But yeah, with what SpaceX has been doing, with what Virgin Galactic has been doing, we're entering a whole other world of space travel.
They're I mean, colonization of the moon or Mars or something like that. I mean, it's weird to see some of the things that are going on. Thinking about how I remember watching the space shuttle take off when I was a kid and landing. That was a big event until 1985 or 86 when that one happened. But
oh yeah,
but it was it's space has become something completely different now.
Oh, for sure.
It's not as and you know, I remember when I was a kid, they went to the moon and why? That was my first question. I actually asked, why? Why would you go to the moon? They brought back dust and rocks. Okay, I can get them in the backyard. I don't know. It was just, I didn't understand why it was so important to go to the moon. I thought it's great, but it was like,
yeah,
it was cool, but why?
Well, same reason that that the expedition went to the North Pole.
Yeah,
because it's there.
Yeah, and then you got to admit the pictures coming back from the Mars rover, those are pretty interesting to see.
Oh yeah.
And then they're finding things that don't make sense. They're finding, you know, tracks and footprints. They're like, why is this here?
Well, They've been there. It's just that
There was a
we haven't
movie.
been looking in the right places.
There was a movie years and years ago about a guy who got stuck on Mars. Gosh, it was an old movie, and then it turns out there were other people on Mars,
hmm
and he ran out of oxygen, and then they discovered there's these certain rocks that create oxygen, so he was able to keep. I don't know.
I
It
know
was
what you're talking about.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was a strange movie,
hmm
but I was a kid. It looked cool.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It doesn't have to make sense.
Then
Yeah.
of course there was Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and that was like
Oh yeah.
that was interesting.
Oh, that was so good. They tried to remake that, and man, that was a bad idea. Really bad idea.
Some movies you just got to leave them alone.
hmm Meanwhile, if you want to see what's going on the moon, there's a whole other series of movies out called Iron Skies, created by a German company, I believe. Very steampunk B movie sort of feel to it. It's basically about these two astronauts landing on the moon, and part of their mission is to go see what's on the dark side of the moon. So they end up going to the dark side of the moon. They come across this crater, and they're looking down. There's a moon base there, and there's people there. Nazis. That's where the Nazis went after World War II. I mean, it's completely insane. And after the first movie, it gets even more insane as dinosaurs come into it and all. But
Wow.
they are so much fun because they don't care. They just go over the top, and they're fun movies if you get a chance to watch them. But specifically, the movies that we're looking at this month are the horror movies coming out.
Oh, yeah.
The Halloween movies, because they're not all horror movies.
No.
Yeah. Now, as far as horror movies go, CNET has an article up. How horror movies can help mental health. Not a joke. Actually, not a joke. So basically what we're looking at is you might expect that everyone with anxiety would avoid horror. After all, why would anyone who feels anxious want to watch something that is created specifically to induce fear or anxiety? According to Colton Scrivener, a PhD candidate at the University of Chicago who studies horror and morbid curiosity. I didn't know you could do that as a course of study, but cool. He says, quote, however, my research finds that on average, people with anxiety are more likely to be horror fans. To be sure, horror movies aren't relaxing. The brain doesn't always clearly distinguish between fantasy and reality. But horror movies can trigger your nervous system's fear response, also known as fight or flight, in some of the same ways that a real life scary event can. The fear response in the system that our ancestors' bodies evolved to survive threats like a bear attack. Your body is flooded with stress hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline, and your heart rate, blood pressure, and breathing all start to increase, allowing you to act quickly. Sounds like a bad thing for the most part.
I don't know. Yeah, it does.
When the threat is gone, the fear response is followed by the rest and digest response, which prompts your body to calm down and return to its baseline state. But in people with anxiety or trauma, the fight or flight response has a bit of a glitch. Our brains react to normal everyday occurrences as if they were a major threat to our lives. And because there is no real threat, just a general vague sense of doom, we rarely get any sense of resolution or relief. But for some viewers who have anxiety or trauma, horror movies only make matters worse. But for others, horror can help provide relief from pent-up tension. They're a way to practice feeling scared in a safe environment, refocus your brain away from real-life anxieties, and enjoy the release that comes after the movie's over. It allows you to make friends with your fears. It's an escape from your real life. And this whole it gets a little in the weeds, but basically it allows you to release all of this stress and tension and have a period where everything's cool again.
And I think the other part to that is that the facing your fears kind of thing, but also the fact that you're watching something on a TV and all you have to do is hit stop.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So I guess maybe that's part of it too, knowing that you're safe and you can hit stop if it gets to be too much, and that fear, relax, kind of it. I can kind of see it.
Mhm.
I still don't like horror movies, so I won't be testing that theory.
Well, it depends on what the horror movie is as to whether I like it. I'm not a fan of slashers, but
Yeah.
I don't think slasher movies are actually scary.
They're
I'm
just
sorry. Yeah, a guy with a knife. That's I grew up in that neighborhood. So
there's people around that say, nothing. It's funny because I do recall that because my wife did deal with anxiety really bad for a while, and she would sit and watch scary movies with my daughter.
Mhm.
So I just like, okay, I go to another room, but
Yeah.
So there may be something to that.
Oh yeah, and that sort of thing. There are chemicals that get released in your brain.
Yeah.
And certain people are into that. Some certain people aren't. GoodHousekeeping.com has put up a list of the 60 best Halloween movies to watch
Oh.
this October. And the great thing about Good Housekeeping, they mix it up. Like they say, they don't say scary movies, they say Halloween movies.
Okay.
So it's a little of both.
Mhm.
Number one on the list, Hocus Pocus. Oh my God. Oh my
Okay.
God.
Okay.
Maybe I'll share a picture before Halloween is over of
Mhm.
well, it was a few years back. Me and me and a friend and my at the time wife, we all three dressed up as the Sanderson sisters.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was the Bette Midler character.
Gotcha.
By the way, I kind of make a pretty woman. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. But oh yeah.
That's cool.
And that's a great movie.
Yeah.
They've been talking about doing a remake of it. I hope they don't.
hope
I
they
think
don't.
it's perfect the way that it is.
No.
Number two on their list, The Addams Family.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Man, Raul Julia.
Yes.
That was towards the end of his life.
Yeah.
Raul Julia and Angelica Houston.
Oh, Angelica Houston was amazing.
Oh yeah. They were perfect. Everybody in that movie was perfect.
Yeah.
It was truer to the original Addams Family comic strip than anything. Yeah. They put a lot of that darkness back in that they couldn't do in the TV series back in the day.
Yeah.
Of course, Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
To get into a scarier one, Get Out is on the list at number 4.
Oh.
Jordan Peele. Oh, it's creepy, and there's not a whole lot I can tell you without ruining it. So it's still a fairly new movie out there. So I'll just say it's a good one to see. Get Out. It's not a horror movie. It's not a horror movie as far as a slasher type thing, but it's a sort of thing that keeps your guts tied up pretty good. Jordan Peele is proving to be one of the masters of horror. And it's neat because he's one of the few Black masters of horror.
Yeah.
He brings a very, very different outlook.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, Edward Scissorhands, early Tim Burton movie.
Yes.
Early Johnny Depp movie.
Yeah.
And that was, I loved that thing.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
Of course, got to have it right here. The original 1978 Halloween.
Okay.
I watched it and I was like, is this over yet? Maybe that's just me. It's not my sort of thing.
The thing is, you go back to like the 70s, a lot of those movies, if you watch them now, they're like, there's a nowadays you have like the biggest difference that I see in TV and in movies is that back in the 70s, they'd say, well, let's go check it out. And then you see a scene of them driving out there. And then there'd be something going on for a little while. Nowadays, like, let's check it out. Next scene, they're banging through the door.
Yeah.
Next, like, let's go check it out. 2 seconds later, they're in the room and already questioning the guy. So it's like things move a lot faster.
Oh yeah.
In shows now than they did in the 70s because we were watching. We watched Hawaii Five-0. The new one. We loved it.
Oh, it's so good.
It was awesome. And then we decided, well, let's try the old one. And we were like, oh, man, this thing's dragging.
Yes.
Because this is the style of the shows back then. It's the way it was. So it's that's just
it's a totally different feel.
Yeah.
Now there are 2 movies that I will watch every Halloween, every October. Before the end of the month, I will watch them both. The first one, Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh yeah.
It is so good. Tim Burton directed, of course. Danny Elfman put all the music together. Danny
Yes.
Elfman, ex-lead singer of Oingo Boingo.
Mhm.
Who would know that he is such a good composer?
He was, yeah.
And more than that, the way he wrote the vocals for Jack Skellington, they couldn't find anybody to sing it. So he's the one that sings for Jack
Yeah.
Skellington. And it's a great story. It's a Christmas movie and a Halloween movie all together, so you can watch it twice a year.
Here's the funny thing. I still have yet to see the movie.
Oh, you've got to see it.
But I
it is
will,
so good.
because now because apparently my granddaughter is saying she wants to see it because my daughter showed
Perfect.
her that movie, so she's all excited about watching it. So
Perfect.
I'm gonna get to see it this year.
Yeah, and the great thing is that that's one of those movies that maybe really, really, really little kids might find it scary, but I don't think anybody's really going to be scared by the movie.
No, just the imagery, maybe.
Yeah, but
it's
for the
dark,
most part,
but
it's a great story. It's great characters. You fall in love with them.
Yeah.
I guarantee your granddaughter's going to fall in love with Sally right off the bat because she's very cool.
Well, she recognizes the images of it. She was at the Halloween store in the mall, and she was telling me how she found a bunch of Nightmare Before Christmas stuff too. I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
She wanted to go. She liked the big werewolf that was standing in front. I'm like, okay, he's creepy. Let's go.
Yeah, but he's cool too.
Yeah.
The other movie that I watch every October is Army of Darkness, Sam Raimi movie. Oh, Sam Raimi movie. It's Bruce Campbell starring in the main role, and it is the most campy, ridiculous thing, and awesome, completely awesome. Boy, you know what? I realize that I haven't actually checked to make sure we have sound. I hope we have sound.
That's
today.
a good idea. I didn't think of that, but we've been going for a half an hour already. You can tell we just start talking and get lost. Yeah, we're good.
Hey, we got sound. Everything is good. Okay. I'll not do that again then. No, it's just a great movie. It's some of the best cheesy lines ever. I mean, you watch this movie and at one point, it's every horror trope you could imagine, just so they can use the effects, and it's all low budget effects. They have the Army of Darkness, which is mainly skeletons that are marching on the good guys. It's done in the Harryhausen claymation style of effects, which is awesome to see. There's one of my favorite lines in this. The good guy Ash, he ends up getting infected and splitting off this second Ash. It's an evil Ash, and he's sitting there telling he's sitting there teasing him, says, "You're good, Ash, goody little two shoes, Ash." And he's punching him and taunting him, and he's got this shotgun, double-barreled shotgun. He pulls it out, sticks it under his nose, and pulls the trigger. Says, "Good, bad." I'm the one with the gun.
Oh my God.
Those are the kind of lines throughout the movie. It's just wrong. It's originally based on a movie that he did called The Evil Dead.
I remember those.
The original Evil Dead he actually made. It was a college film when he was in film college with his friend Bruce Campbell. They then remade it, Evil Dead 2. It's the same movie, but they tweaked it and made it work better. And it's actually a prequel to Army of Darkness. And now they've done the new one, which I haven't seen yet, but I do have it. So I need to actually sit and watch it. Maybe I'll watch it this year. But awesome movie.
That's cool.
Silly. And I love silly.
Okay.
Of course, especially for kids, from 1966. It's a Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Oh, yes. And there was talk about them not doing that this year, not playing it this year. I think it was. I forgot what it was, but oh man, that was one of my favorite when I was a kid.
I don't think it ever gets old, and I think it's something that kids can still enjoy.
Oh yeah. Come on, it's Peanuts. You got it.
Yeah.
You got it. Everybody wanted a dog like Snoopy.
And that's going to be, if you got Apple TV, they have the full rights. I believe it'll probably be on probably CBS. Once or twice. Yeah. But Apple TV has got it, so if you've got Apple TV, you can watch it whenever you want.
Yeah, that's cool.
Of course, 1984, Ghostbusters.
Yes.
Another Jordan Peele movie is on this list, Us. This is from 2019.
Mm,
It's creepy.
really?
Family on vacation ends up discovering a violent set of doppelgangers of themselves, and the pacing that Peele does his movies at, it's rough. It's really rough.
That's funny.
Of course, from 1996, Scream
Oh yeah.
and all the other Scream movies.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they're so good. These are the Wes Craven movies. Another master of horror. The thing with Wes Craven, his degree is in psychology. So he gets off on screwing with people with his movies. And man, Scream, he laid it out perfectly. He's also the one that did Nightmare on Elm Street. By the closest thing to a slasher that I do enjoy, because those movies are so well written.
Yeah.
They play with you emotionally throughout the movie. And Robert Englund plays Freddy Krueger, and a bunch of those smart aleck lines in that weren't written in the script. He made them up.
Yeah. That's
So
cool.
yeah, of course, from 1975, Rocky Horror Picture Show, which is actually going to be played out
Yes,
here.
it is.
I've got that information as well.
It's like I told my wife, like, we might want to go there, but we're going to sit in the back.
Well, you probably
'Cause
won't get hit with much.
The people in front are going to be just as entertaining as the movie itself.
Yeah, it's a very strange movie, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Children of the Corn from 1984. Creepy. That was a Stephen King.
Yeah.
1995, Casper, the live action movie with Christina Ricci as a little girl.
Yeah, that was a cute movie.
Yeah.
I love the way they did that. That was fun.
1980, and I can't believe this is only 1980 this came out. The Shining.
Oh.
With Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
Nobody really knew who Jack Nicholson was. He'd been in like one other movie.
Yeah.
Was it One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
Yeah.
And that was about it. Man, they have on this list here the 2017 version of It. Another Stephen King with Pennywise the Clown.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And yeah,
if
don't
you want
watch those.
If you want a newer movie to give you some scares, okay, I would suggest go back and watch the original with we were talking about Rocky Horror a minute ago. Tim Curry played the clown, and he was creepy. I mean, he wasn't otherworldly scary like they made this thing out to be. Lots of CGI on it, but he was creepy, and he was talking to these kids a lot.
You know, I've seen him in. There was another. Didn't he play in the movie Clue?
Yes,
he was the butler,
butler.
And he was a nut. And then you see him, and I saw him. He played a serial killer in a couple of episodes of Criminal Minds, and that I was like, oh my gosh, this guy he's
amazing.
Scary. And then there's the movie Oscar.
Yes,
with Sylvester Stallone. He played the linguist. I thought he was so good. It was like it's just the man is amazing. He's one of those actors that you throw him something and he'll bring it out. It's just amazing. It's just so much fun.
Yeah. And he'll try anything.
Yeah. And obviously, because 3 movies that I've seen him in are completely different. Except, and then you got a guy like Kevin Costner. The first movie I saw him in was Bull Durham.
Yes.
Where he played a catcher in the minors called Crash Davis. Well, every time I see him in a movie, I'm like, he's still Crash Davis.
It can happen. He
was freaking Robin Hood, and I'm like, dude, you're still Crash Davis. What's going on?
Yeah, well, we won't get into that Robin Hood.
Yeah, anyway. But I just thought it was, it just guys like that. It's just, and then it depends. You got great actors that can pull off anything. And then you got actors that stay within a certain character area.
Yeah.
Like Sam Elliott.
Oh,
everything he plays
it's basically him.
It's him, but it is so cool. It's like it's a cowboy, tough guy, cool guy. I mean, just that one area he stays in.
Oh yeah.
Instead of trying to he would never try and play Robin Hood. Okay.
No.
Unless the Robin Hood suddenly had a cowboy hat and a 6-shooter, maybe.
Could be arranged.
No, but it's just actors like that. So when you see actors like Tim Curry, they can pull off everything.
Oh yeah.
That's
and
just
he's been
neat to
in
see.
so much. He was in a science fiction show on NBC called Earth 2, and he was a convicted murderer that they come across, and
Yeah.
he was creepy.
It's just great to see actors like that, and then
yeah.
you don't see too many guys like that anymore
hmm
that can just are so versatile.
Yeah. One of the other movies they have on here, and I'm gonna. There's two parts to this. A Quiet Place. A Quiet Place 2 is also out. You can get both of those on streaming. Oh my goodness, Emily Blunt and John Krasinski. It's in a post-apocalyptic world. Basically, there's been an alien invasion. These alien monsters can't see, but they can hear you. So everybody's got to be incredibly quiet. It sounds like a really hard thing to pull off, especially for two movies. You did a really good job.
Oh wow.
And they're very tense. Yeah, I'd call it more of a thriller than a horror movie. For the kids, there is a whole series of movies called Halloween Town, and you can find those on Disney Plus. Or a full set at my house. I actually love them so much. I had to get them. It's following a family that the daughter finds out that she comes from a long line of witches, and she's starting to be exposed to her powers. Well, grandma, who they're staying with, Debbie Reynolds.
Oh.
So, and it's very lighthearted and fun.
Yeah.
And Debbie Reynolds is just awesome.
Oh yeah.
Just having getting to see her is there. Coraline is on this list. It's an animated Tim Burton movie. I would say keep your little kids away from it because although it's animated, it is very creepy.
Yeah.
They put in the original Haunting, 1963. There's something about those black and white movies. While we're talking about that, don't forget the original Night of the Living Dead, which was shot in black and white and almost a sepia look. It was rough. It was really rough. 1976 Carrie, getting the pig's blood dumped on her. By the way, another Stephen King. Poltergeist, 1982. God, there's too many Halloweens. Nightmare on Elm Street came out in 1984.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So that's been a while. For your kids, of course, there's The Haunted Mansion, Disney movie with Eddie Murphy.
Yes.
It's fun. It's cute. There's nothing super heavy about it.
No, it was a good. That was fun.
Rosemary's Baby, which I wouldn't actually recommend to anybody. It's a hard watch for a lot of reasons. Of course, you've got the whole Conjuring movies, which I think the whole Conjuring universe, all those movies are on HBO Max. The only exception is the newest one, Malignant or something like that. It actually left just recently. So, but it's in theaters right now as well. What do we got? Paranormal Activity. I've never actually seen any of them, so I can't really tell you. Corpse Bride, fun movie, really fun movie, and good for kids. It's a Tim Burton animated thing, and it's really cute, and it's got a little dog that it's got the dead dog is floating around. It's got a light up nose. Of course, 1979, the Amityville Horror, which was based on a lot of true events.
Yeah,
that they pieced together to make that movie. Sleepy Hollow from 1999 with Christina Ricci and Johnny Depp.
It's funny because I remember every year when I was in elementary school, we would see the cartoon Sleepy Hollow, the Ichabod Crane, the Headless Horseman cartoon. I remember seeing that every Halloween. I hated it. I hated it.
It was a little silly.
Yeah, but when we were kids, it was elementary school. That was the idea. But I still hated it.
From 1931, Dracula, Bela Lugosi.
Oh yeah.
If you've never seen it, I know kids are not going to like it because it's black and white. It's not so fast paced. It's such a good movie. One of the original Universal monsters. Man.
My wife woke up. I couldn't sleep, so my wife woke up and she was almost horrified to see that I was watching Godzilla versus King Kong.
Yes.
the original 60s version. I haven't seen the new one yet.
Oh, it's
And
so
she
good.
told me, if you're going to see that, it is so not going to be while I'm even in the house. I'm like, all right, great. But yeah, she comes, she goes, are you serious? I went, what? I loved this when I was a kid. And
Mhm.
she's like, ugh.
Oh yeah.
Luckily, I have a pair of headphones that are Bluetooth that she doesn't have to hear it.
And the new ones, by the way, are just as good.
Yeah.
If you're looking for, and there's people who are looking for deep story, and look at all these plot holes. Who cares?
Yeah.
Bottom line is, you're here to watch the monsters fight.
Yeah.
Of course, 1999 we have Blair Witch Project.
Oh God, yes.
And they're doing another one, Candyman.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I
See,
love.
I've never seen most of the movies that you mentioned. I haven't seen, especially the scary ones, but I heard about them because
Yeah.
I had friends that loved these movies. I dated a girl in high school who was addicted to horror movies.
Mhm.
So she would go to parties and I would not, because it would be parties with her friends to watch these movies. And I'm like, yeah, I'll pick you up afterwards.
Well, the great thing about Candyman, the bad guy in it, it's played by Tony Todd, who played these horror movies so well. Very deep voice, very, very strong, very gravitas sort of character. He also played in an episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, where he played an older Benjamin Sisko, Jake Sisko, the son of the captain of the station. Well, in this episode where basically his dad got stuck in this time loop, so he could only show up every few years. And he spent his whole life trying to get his dad back. And at the end of the movie, you get to see him playing this role. And you see this little boy, and it just breaks your heart because it's coming through in this grown man as he's dealing with his dad and telling him, we're gonna fix this, and I gotta have you back. I gotta have you in my life. And it's heartbreaking. It's one of the most heart-wrenching episodes. But to see him pull off that and then play this character that is just merciless, it's very cool to see.
Very cool.
Of course, on the list, like I say, you can tell some of these are not for little kids. Child's Play, the movies with the Chucky doll, which, by the way, there is a new TV series coming.
I was alright. I used to have a joke. I used to tease my kids, and they'd say, "We're not that bad." And I said, "You guys are so bad, Chucky wouldn't play with you."
Let's see, 1973. 1973.
Oh my gosh,
The Exorcist. Still,
that one's that old?
Yeah.
Oh wow, because I remember hearing about that when I was little, but I was 3 years old when that came out, so I never saw it. Oh, I know, I did see it. I did see it.
I guarantee you didn't see it when you were 3.
No, it was only about 5 or 6 years ago. I was at home and it came on and I watched it because that was something.
Oh yeah. If you want one that's not so much scary but is campy, American Werewolf in London that came out in 1981.
Oh yeah.
And that was great music. Or go back to 1954, Abbott and Costello Meet the Mummy.
Yes. That one I watched.
Also 1954, Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah. And then there was also Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein.
Mm-hmm.
That was
and Abbott and Costello Meet the Killer, the Maniac.
I forgot.
It was the one with
a few of those.
Yeah. It was one with Boris Karloff.
Just to see Abbott, they were so good.
Oh,
they were such a great pair.
So there's some amazing movies out there, and if you want to be scared, there's movies that'll do it. If you want something lighter, there's movies that do that.
And you still haven't
mentioned kids.
And you still haven't mentioned my favorite. My tradition every year, and that is Young Frankenstein.
Oh God, yes.
And and to my wife's dismay, I now have it this year. I'm going to watch it because I have it on Blu-ray. I have the Blu-ray edition, and it is waiting, and we are going to watch it this year. I don't know if my granddaughter is going to watch it with us. I don't know what brought it up, but when I looked at my wife and said, we could show her Young Blazing Saddles, and the look.
Well, the nice thing about Young Frankenstein is a lot of the more adult humor will go over her head.
Yes, most of it will.
Yeah.
Well, and she's my granddaughter's at that age. I got to tell the story. It's terrible, but it's funny. My kids, they're my stepkids. Their father was black, so they're black. And then there was, a lot of the N-word was gratuitously used in our house at one time. So my wife blurted out to my daughter because they were rushing. And she goes, "Come on, move it, Negro." Then you hear a little 5 little voice go, "Yeah, move it, Negro."
Jeez.
I laughed for a good 10 minutes. My daughter did not know what to do. My wife was not happy.
God.
But the thing is, what was really cute, I will say this, my granddaughter just had this look on her face like she knew she shouldn't have said it,
Mm-hmm.
but she knew she got away with it because
Yeah.
it was funny. But she has yet to say it again. But it's funny because but my granddaughter is extremely smart.
Mhm.
It's scary how smart she is because she'll say things that I may have us look like, all right, fine. Like when she looked at me, I hadn't colored my hair in a while, and she's like, "You need to color your hair." Grandma colored her hair. You need to color your hair.
Uh-huh.
Thanks a lot, kid. And there was another one that was in my head that I forgot they hadn't mentioned yet, and totally escaped me. Never mind.
There are so many, and yeah, I basically just ran through this list and just picked
Yeah.
out a bunch. as we went.
Halloween is not a big thing in my house. I haven't dressed for Halloween since I was 9, and I didn't even want to then. The only reason I did is because my dad made me so I could take my sister trick-or-treating.
Mhm.
And because at that time, 9 years old, my sister was 7, so I watched my sister.
Yeah.
They'd go, come back later. That was the kind of thing we could do that then.
Yeah.
But and I just never really was a big fan of Halloween. This year, really not fans of Halloween because my wife ordered a new Christmas tree
Mhm.
and it came.
Oh, I heard. I saw
Yeah.
a post online about this.
And so she tells me, hey, I need to see how that tree looks. Can you put it up real quick? I went, yeah, sure. And as I'm opening the box, I'm like, this thing's not coming down.
Mhm.
Because she made it sound like she wants to see how it looks. That way she can get the lights she wants and stuff like that. Because I don't know, this year just seems to be my granddaughter's a little bit more alert about what Christmas is and everything. So she wants to make it really nice. They're going to decorate the house. And as I open the box in my head, I'm like, this thing's not coming down. And I set it up, and I had to go to the spa to see a client, and I see the post. Christmas trees up, lights will go on in about a week. And I'm sitting there going, I knew it.
Uh-huh.
So there will be pumpkins in front of the tree because
Cool.
my granddaughter, when she went to the Messiah Valley Maze, she got some pumpkins, and this weekend Grandpa has to help her, carve the pumpkins.
Awesome.
So we're gonna do that. So we said, we'll just put them in front of the tree.
Mhm.
Why not?
Why not? Yeah. I probably won't be doing any of that this year, but
Yeah.
I used to love doing the pumpkin carving because I would always do weird stuff. I'd bring props where I'd take 2 pumpkins and use parts from one pumpkin to make the other thing go on look weirder.
Okay, so here's the thing. I hated it ever since I was a kid because when we did it, I had to reach my hand in and pull all that stuff out. I hated that.
Oh. Well, you will hate what I've done several times because I think it's just the coolest thing to do with a pumpkin. Scoop out all the seeds, but don't throw them away. If you got a second pumpkin, cut a couple of hands. Instead of doing a regular smiley mouth, have like a really upset mouth. Take those 2 hands and put them mostly over, and have the seeds come out like the pumpkin is puking.
Yeah, I saw
goofy,
another
but
one
yeah.
where they draped it over the top and had a painful look on the pumpkin's head, and it looked like his brains were coming.
Oh yeah. Oh
Like,
yeah.
that's just wrong.
Yeah, but fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically an overview of some of the. Of course, there's tons of Halloween movies of different types. And
Halloween means something different to everybody. I mean, a lot of times, first thing you look at is the scary, scary aspect of it, and then the more not morbid, but dark, almost satanic aspect of it for some, and
Yeah.
for others, it's like, we went to Home Depot, and there was a couple of inflatables that were pretty creepy looking. And then you had minions dressed up as vampires, which I thought was so cute. And then you had, silly, but then you had then there was another one was a skeleton or this witch that looked awful. See, my granddaughter is going to be a witch this year, but she's going to be a cute witch.
Cool.
So she's got this really pretty costume and it's got really bright green. So of course, I have to do, I got nail polish that'll look great on her. So
cool, that works out
well.
well.
Yeah. So there's different ways to do it.
Oh yeah, and my personal thing here lately, I haven't been to a Halloween party in a few years because I've been enjoying the trick or treaters, And
Yeah.
especially these little kids that come to the door, and you never know what they're going to be dressed up as. And some of them are just so adorable.
We used to in Missouri, it would be really cold, and the first Halloween, we actually did not have as much fun because we had dogs that would bark and go nuts every time the doorbell rang.
Hmm.
So the following year, we bought this fire pit, went out in the driveway, had the fire pit going. We would sit in the driveway. They just come up, and we had such a great time. My favorite still was this girl that always dressed like a princess, who had this little chihuahua who was also dressed like a princess. It was the most adorable thing. I look forward to seeing them every year. She was just, yeah, there's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So and we'll talk some more Halloween stuff as the month goes by, I'm sure.
Especially when we get closer to.
Yeah.
I mean, here it is. There's so many people I know that are just absolutely head over here. As soon as October hit, they're talking Halloween.
I haven't even started decorating yet.
Mm.
Yeah. The Christmas tree will not be going up for a while. Yeah. The inside and especially the outside decorations will be going up shortly.
Very cool.
So yeah, there's all that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but we're going to talk about some of what's going on in the area. But before we do, you said you have a new song.
Yeah, I was looking at new songs to add to my list, and I came across a song that this started everything. When I was in high school, I took a class because I had to take a class. There was a fine art class, and then there was a bunch of choices, and one of them was voice training. And I thought, well, I can already sing. Now this time I knew I can sing better than pretty much everybody around me. And it was, but I didn't really do much with it. I sang in choir for a couple of years in junior high, and it got, kind of burned out from it and didn't enjoy it as much. So I took this class thinking, oh, that's an easy A. No big deal. I can already sing. So I'm good. Kick back, easy A. So we get there, and it's taught by the choir director, Mr. Jim Wilbur, who the first thing he said was, he goes, this class I will help you sing. I can't guarantee you'll sing great, but you will sing better. And I was like, yeah, so sure, we'll see. And so what he did was he'd vocalize you, and he'd give you a song, and you would learn it, and he would help, and he would work with you a little bit each day on technique and fundamentals and things like that. And after about 2 weeks, I'm like, I am singing better. I'm singing some of these notes, because he gave me the first song he gave me was a little hard. And I was like, why am I not able to sing this as well? And then after a while, I was able to sing it. I was like, oh, okay. And so the following year, I took it again because I figured, it'll just help me more. Not for the easy A, it will just help me more. So, because I was singing in his madrigal choir, because by the end of the year, he had me trying out for madrigal choir, which also got me into concert choir, which also got me into men's ensemble, which also got me into jazz choir, and then men's quartet. So I was doing all kinds of stuff. So I figured I'd better take this class. Now it's a different attitude completely. And so this song, when he gave it to me, it started me thinking, what can I do other than choir? And it started making me think about doing more with the voice after high school, or, beyond high school. So this is a song that kind of started it all. And it just so happens to be a Neil Diamond song. The night returns just like a friend. The evening comes to set me free. The quiet hours that wait beyond the day make peaceful sounds in me. Took a drag from my last cigarette. Drink from a glass of old wine. Close my eyes and I could make it real and feel it one more time. Can you hear it, babe? Can you hear it, babe? From another time, from another place. Can you remember it there? And the radio played like a carnival tune as we lay in our bed in the other room, and we gave it away for the sake of a dream in a penny arcade. If you know what I mean. If you know what I mean, babe. These are the songs we used to sing. Here's to the times we used to know. It's hard to hold them in our arms again, and hard to let them go. Do you feel it, babe? Can you feel it, babe? From another time, from another place. Do you remember it, babe? And the radio played like a carnival tune as we lay in our bed in the other room, when we gave it away for the sake of a dream in a penny arcade. If you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. If you know what I mean.
Dude, awesome.
I haven't done that song since like 87, 88.
That's very cool.
And yeah, I came across it and I was like, oh my gosh, this did it all. And that's Jim Wilbur. I'll always be so grateful to him because he started it. And I always say, you know, I got a chance to, when I was doing my cabaret show back in the late 80s, he came to see it. And when I started a song, that was the song I was doing. But before the song, I looked at him. I went, you know, I looked at everybody and I went, you know, about 5-6 years ago, I never thought about being a singer. And a lot of people are looking at me like, wow, really? And I said, but there was one man that came into my life that changed everything. And he's sitting in the back and everybody turned and looked at him and he went, why?
Yeah.
Why'd you do that? And I told him, I said, Mr. Wilbur, thank you. You did this. And he was like, it was really cool to be able to do that.
That's cool. Yeah.
Honor him like
And
that.
right there on the spot.
Yeah. So this is the song I just, why haven't I thought of this before? But so I added that song into my list because it's the song that started it all.
Mhm.
This got everything started. So it led to what I'm doing now.
Very cool. Let's see what's going on this month.
Lots.
Starting off with today, Wednesday, 5:30 to 8:30. Telshore 12 Theater is going to be doing Food Truck Fiesta again. Yeah.
Awesome.
So, and of course, get your food there, and you can take it into the theater and eat right there in the theater.
Boy, that is so cool that they're doing
Isn't
that.
it?
That is so cool that they're doing that.
Well, this is all Russell Allen and his trying to help out the community. He's been doing this for several years now, and it's a really good thing. Yeah, it hurts their concession sales a little bit,
I don't
probably.
think it does that much.
But it's enough. But the thing is, the good that it's doing, I think, is worth it, and I think
yeah.
he thinks it's worth it.
Yeah.
So, the participating trucks, Party Animal Entertainment, they're just doing the music. But you can't eat what they're putting out. Happy Dog, Tasty's Boba, Smiley's Wood Fired Pizza, La Ristra, Fresh Made Food, and El Campesino are going to be there.
Very cool.
So, yeah.
Happy Dog, you see them a lot. You'll see them at Amara Winery on Thursdays during the open mic. They're there.
Okay.
Great burgers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So yeah, we got that going on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. Was this? Oh, this is in El Paso. Yeah, I put down. Yeah, Sun City Fright Fest is coming this Saturday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. at Raves Club in El Paso. That's just my sort of thing. Monster Market, wrestling, Monster Con, Halloween show, Queen of the Monster beauty contest. It's kind of a different sort of thing going on. If you want tickets to that one, they're at suncityfrightfest.com.
Oh man.
As far as here, let's see. Second annual Boxtoberfest at Icebox Brewing Company.
Boxtoberfest.
And this is the
Okay.
original over on Picacho.
Okay.
Let's see. Join us for our second annual Boxtoberfest at our Picacho tap room on October 9th. Live music all day, tasty. Oh, that's what it is. German food dishes, German beer steins, patio games, great craft beer. Event starts at noon.
Hello.
That's kind of cool.
That's gonna be that's gonna be a neat day.
You know what? There's something about doing an Oktoberfest thing where you've got the Oktoberfest feel. I don't know how many people I'm about to piss off when I say this, but you don't have to drink the German beer. I know there's some people who love it.
Okay.
I can't.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I just got invited to a Oktoberfest party later this month by a woman who's a regular at open mic. Her and her husband just sit and listen. They're there all the time. Her name is Elka.
Yeah.
Elka is German.
Yes.
And I made the mistake of saying something about, she invited us to her party, and I made the mistake of saying something about, because she said, "Oh, we're gonna have bratwurst and so I name it, and it's sauerkraut." And somebody said something. I said, "I don't. My mother used to like it. I never wanted to eat it. I never had it." And she gave me this look, and I'm like, "Well, looks like I'm gonna be trying it."
Yeah.
So I'll be doing that. I'd never had a German beer, although I will say, my best friend from high school, when he went to the Navy, he did a Mediterranean tour on an aircraft carrier, and he was proud of himself because he drank a beer in 8 different countries.
Yeah.
And he drank the local beer in 8 different countries, and he had a really hard time drinking beer when he got back.
Yeah.
He said, "This stuff sucks."
Well, I will tell you, people who like German beer really like German
Yeah.
beer. People who don't really don't, and I'm in that category.
We had a teacher in high school that did a slideshow one day of some travels that he did, and he did travel to Germany, and he had one picture of him holding a beer, and one guy gasped. He goes, "Is German beer better?" And the teacher goes, "Okay, I'm going to say something that must stay with in here. Don't tell anybody I told you, but the German beer is amazing." He goes, "The stuff you probably," and he knows that, every high school guy's drinking beer. Like, he goes, "Trust me, the stuff you're drinking is crap." And I was like, wow. I didn't like beer. I'm really not much of a beer person. I have very few beers that I can drink because I just don't like that bitter flavor to
Yeah,
it.
but you've found one you like at Amaro.
Yes, and thank goodness they also have it at a Vintage. So when I played there, I got to have it there too.
There
But
you
yeah, I've
go.
really enjoyed it. So it's like, and it's yeah, beer is changed a lot.
Yes.
It's
And
not just,
Yeah.
it's, you go places. My son is who's in St. Louis. He is a beer connoisseur. The guy knows beer like I couldn't believe some of the stuff. He's oh, you got to drink. This place has this kind of crap beer. He knows all. I mean, I don't know the difference between IPAs and blonde, all that kind of stuff. He knows them all.
Yeah.
He came out here and somebody I know gave him a pecan beer, and he said, "Dad, I still think about that."
Yeah, it's very
It's like,
different. It's
wow.
very good.
Okay, so when I go out to Missouri, I have to take him some.
Yeah, and we have some good places with some good beer meisters.
Yeah.
out
The one
here.
that I go is a Bosk 1988 or 1888, and it's great. It's got this citrus flavor to it that's just awesome.
Yeah. I think the top 3 breweries for sort of breweries for me in this area are going to be Icebox, Ice House,
Icebox.
Icebox,
Yeah.
Spotted Dog,
Okay.
and now TRC Brewing Company.
I have not been there yet, and I need to. Because
they're
we went
so
to
good.
Icebox. My wife enjoyed. She doesn't like beer either, but when we saw the tasting, you get $5, you get a taste of each one, 5
Yes.
different ones. Oh my gosh, we had so much fun with that.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, that one I didn't like that. This one I like much. And then this guy brings another glass over and he goes, "I thought maybe you'd like this." And puts it in front of my wife, and she tastes. She goes, it was just amazing. There were so many different ones. They had so much fun. We had so much fun with that. It was great.
And the best thing about Icebox is that they treat you more like family than just customers.
They're just great.
And the other good thing about them is it's now October.
Yeah.
So we should be seeing the return of Monster Cookie.
Yeah, that's
hopefully.
right. Because that one was interesting. And there's also the Broken Spoke.
Mhm.
has a lineup of different beers.
I've never been there yet.
We went there after a conference one time, and I looked at the menu, and I looked at the waitress. I looked. I go, I don't know what she. So then she asked me a few questions, and she goes, Let me bring you one to try it." And I'm like, and it was really good.
Mhm.
But I was like, oh my gosh, how the heck am I don't know beer much. How the heck am I supposed to pick?
It's something. It's a little
There
endeavor.
there is such a thing as too many choices.
And if you like wines and you like good food,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
also DH Les Combs, who, if you go
Mhm.
out this Friday at 6,
That's right. I will
BJ's
be
going to be
there.
playing out there.
Yes. Come out, because that's the last show. After October, they don't do music out on the patio until April. So that'll be my last show for this year.
Yeah.
There at least.
Travis James Manning is going to be playing this Friday at 7 at Amaro. Amaro Winery over on Melendres Street.
Mhm.
Let's see. That's raves again. Pete's Patio is still doing their open mic.
That's great.
Still haven't made it out there to that one. Amaro's open mic, open jam is tomorrow at 7. Tonight is karaoke over there. Also tonight at Little Toad Creek is going to be a open mic with Damian Luna. Truman Provencio is going to be playing at Amaro Winery this Sunday at 2.
Okay. Truman is not just, he's an experience.
Oh yeah.
You've got to see it. He's very, very animated.
And we've had him on the show twice.
We had him, yeah, and it's been a blast each time. You can also see him sometimes, a lot of times playing with the house band at Amaro on Thursday nights and he's
and that's one thing. What you're going to see is something totally
he's going to
different.
get to do his thing, and I'll tell you, you got to give him a try.
He's got a drum machine. I believe he's got a looper that he uses as well. And I've never heard him do it at the open jam. He'll probably be playing some of his original music, because he's written a bunch of original music,
and that's really cool. So good to see him doing that.
Yeah, I'm planning to be out there and check him out. In fact, I'm going to change my interested, because I always put interested.
Yeah, I know.
Isn't that horrible?
We got to make it out there for that. My wife is always saying that we got to go see him play. So we got to go.
I'm going to switch that to going, because that's 2 p.m. at Amaro.
2 to 5 at Amaro, out on the patio. Beautiful place.
Yeah,
wonderful.
It's nice and comfortable. Don't worry about if you look outside and you think it's hot, because they've got the shade cover. They've got the misters going.
But it's not going to. That's right. This weekend's going to be kind of warm. But yeah, they got the misters. They got the shade. It's just great.
Yeah.
It's a great place. I love being there.
So I'm gonna have to drag my butt out there and see him. It's not a hard drag for me.
I know, you're right down the street.
It's a walking distance, really, if I wanted to. I just
you won't. But
no, I won't.
I just say that all the time. Oh, we can walk there. We won't, but you can walk there.
And I've got lots of news about Rio Grande Winery.
Oh yeah.
Several different things, but starting with Daisy Blue is going to be there this Sunday at 4, and I'm going to try and get out to there. I wanted to see her this past weekend, this Sunday. She was at Amaro, and there was just no way. I was so shot after doing the car show. We're back. There's a new singer-songwriter showcase that's going on at In Vintage Wines, 5:30 to 8:30 on like I say, on that's tomorrow. And let's see if do they say? I don't see anywhere where it says who's going to be performing this time around. But it's always a cool thing.
There's always somebody.
Yeah, and it's always singer-songwriters. You have to qualify there. You have to be a singer-songwriter and be doing your own music.
Yeah.
Paint and Sip at Rio Grande Winery tomorrow at 6:30. Of course, Paint and Sip at Amaro tomorrow night.
That's right.
In fact, they're right here side by side. So, Rio Grande Winery is at 6:30.
Yeah.
And Amaro is at 6. And of course, if you go to Amaro after you finish doing your painting,
sit out on the patio and hang out. A lot of people do that, and they show everybody their art, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
They apparently have a great time, because I remember last time we went up there, somebody came out and put their painting down, and my wife was looking and going, "Wow, that is really good." And the lady would look at her and go, "I know, I did it." So you get the right person. I always say this: when you get the right person running it, man, you can. I surprise you, because we did one, and I surprised myself, because I say everything I draw looks like a wounded duck. but
Well, there you
I
go.
looked at it and went, wow, that really looks like a house
Mhm.
on the mountain.
Oh yeah. This Friday at 6 o'clock at Rio Grande Winery, Cadillac Kings are going to be out there.
Oh,
They haven't been back this way in forever.
I keep hearing about them, but
They're cool.
yeah.
Zia Comics is doing their game night this Saturday at 5.
Go see Trevor.
Yeah, or whoever happens to be not sick. Let's see.
I am dealing with allergies, by the way. That's why I sound the way I do.
Oh yeah, Metallusions and Magic with Ray's MD is going to be going on this Saturday at Rio Grande Theater,
wow.
4 to 9, and Ray's MD.
4 to 9.
Yes. This
Whoa.
he's a local doctor, but he does magic. He did magic to put himself through medical school. In fact, if you go to eventbrite.com, you can get tickets for this show. Yeah, I don't know if they have a price. It's usually really reasonable. I've seen one of his shows, and it's fun. He's kind of a smart aleck when he's on stage.
I can only imagine. Let me see. Let me check your ears. Oh, look, a dove.
He's got some big illusions that he does,
Yeah.
and some smaller stuff. He does a lot of card magic as well, if I remember right. If he's still doing that, watch, he's not going to do any of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold your breath as Dr. Ray's attempts to escape the deadly spikes and tremble as he locks an unfortunate nurse, Samantha, inside a glass box and saws her in half with a giant motorized buzzsaw. By the way, I can saw a woman in half with a buzzsaw. The only problem is putting her back together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really supposed to talk about that with the injunction. C.L. Smith from Rockabilly Strangers.
Yeah.
He's going to be playing at Salud de Mesilla this Sunday at noon.
Mm-hmm.
He's awesome. Man, I love that guy. Jessica Flores is going to be out at Rio Grande Winery again this Saturday at 6. Haven't seen her live, but I've watched some of her stuff online, and she's very good.
Yeah.
I believe she's out of El Paso, but she comes down here and performs, and yeah, she's really good.
That's great.
Let's see. Karaoke Wednesday tomorrow. Salsa night on the patio this Saturday at 7:30 tomorrow.
That has been the people have been saying that has been such a great time.
Oh yeah.
And they will teach you. You don't have to go knowing. They will teach you. That's what it starts at. So it's yeah.
Now here's something I didn't know about, and if I didn't know about it, you may not know about it. Amaro Winery this Sunday at 7 p.m. Sip and Flicks.
Oh,
Little Shop of Horrors.
Yes, they were talking about that. It would be so cool.
That would be neat. I guess they're going to put a screen out there.
Can you imagine watching that movie after a few glasses of wine? Probably.
Oh, and I've seen it so many times. I can do all the songs. This is the Rick Moranis version, the later version, which is fun. And Steve Martin is in it as the dentist.
How? My son, my oldest son in high school, they did that for their musical, and they did a really good job.
Mm-hmm.
It was really a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a fun one to put on. So we'll see how that works. DH Les Combs Winery and on Sunday at noon are going to be doing Latin Music Day. So let's see. Day filled with award-winning Latin music from across the U.S. and Latin America, presented by Latin Function and DH Les Combs. $30 general admission on the lawn. Bring a chair or blanket. Salsa, bachata, cumbia, rumba, samba, reggae, and reggaeton. This could be interesting.
Oh my God! I just had flashbacks to my childhood.
They could do just about anything. Yeah, and of course, Zia Comics is continuing their puzzle tournaments on Sunday at 2.
And they're having a lot of fun with that.
Yeah. And every time I mention it to somebody, they freak out. What a puzzle tournament? Yeah, competition. Yeah. JT Anderson is going to be playing at NM Vintage Wines this Sunday at 2:30. CL Smith, once again, he's going to be at Sparky's Saturday at noon.
Oh man, I gotta get back out there. That is just a great place.
Oh, it's the best burger.
Oh
Oh my
man.
god, it really is. I love everything at Sparky's. It's really hard to decide. And yeah, if you get
Now,
in there, there are some
last-
evenings that they do the steaks.
Last time I went, I decided to try the pulled pork burger,
Yes.
and I am hooked. That is just amazing. It's a great, and it's just a fun place. That's where I've gotten, and that's where I've got. It seems like every time I go, Guitar Slim's playing there.
Yeah.
It seemed like every time we went, Guitar Slim was playing, so it was win-win.
Yeah, he'll be out there a lot. Some of the other bands that used to go out there don't seem to exist anymore, which upsets me because one of them was the Muddy Hands Blues Band, which I loved, and I can't find any. If anybody has heard anything about them, let me know. They were a great band, bunch of guys that blues enthusiasts, musicians who actually were building a house for Habitat for Humanity, and when they met with mud all over their hands. That's the way they got the name of the band, and man, they knew what they were talking about.
That's cool.
Yeah, they'd sit there and go into details about where these songs came from, who originated them, who recorded them after, and it's just awesome. Sorry, I got a little distracted because here's an El Paso thing that might be worth going to. Saturday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m., Vampires Night, Downtown Ghost Walk, 510 North Santa Fe Street in El Paso.
Oh yeah, I remember years ago they did the zombie walk here on Main Street.
Yeah, they haven't done that in a bit, and I did the very first one that they did out here.
Well,
it was fun, but oh my god, shambling around the outside of the whole area.
Everybody walking like zombies, and of course, anybody who's raised teenagers go, yeah, that was every morning on the way to school. I was there every morning out the door. Go.
It was a fun night.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah. Boba Cafe and Cabaret is going to do a Pumpkin Cats paint night.
Boba Cafe and Cabaret.
Yeah.
I have not heard of that place.
Oh, it's over 1900 South Espina.
Oh, okay.
Sandwich place.
Yeah.
And man, they've got some great food.
Cool.
And really good people running that place. But yeah, they do paint nights regularly. This Saturday will be Pumpkin Cats.
Ooh.
And it's jack-o'-lanterns with cats in them. On October 23rd, they'll be doing Gray Owl paint night. October 15th, Calavera Sugar Skull Babe paint night. So it's going to be more Day of the Dead sort of thing.
Yeah.
Tomorrow at 6, they're going to be oh wow. This is Picacho Peak Brewing Company, Purple Blossoms Over Pines paint night. Everybody's getting into these paint nights.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's really, really fun.
So, yeah, these are going on all over the place. This is pretty cool. Yeah, bring up the one that brings up a bunch of others.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. I think we're sitting pretty well there. Caliente is going to be at Blue Moon Bar and Grill this Saturday at 7 p.m. And there is a couple of other things. Because I got a message the other day from a friend of mine, J.R. Sandoval.
Oh, okay.
And talk about making me happy. Talk about making me happy. He is coming back to town. He will be playing at Rio Grande Winery. Once again, Rio Grande Winery. They're coming up a lot. October 22nd, he'll be out there, and November 12th. We'll have more information as it gets closer. But yeah, I'm going to try and get him to come on the show at least one of those dates if he gets close enough.
Fun.
He's the coolest guy. And I haven't seen him in a long time. We were talking about getting together when I went to visit my sister the next time in Austin. And when I did it, he was in Arizona about to play. So it didn't work out so well. So there is that.
I met another artist here on Sunday over the weekend at the Maze, Nikki and Greg. Nikki, wonderful lady, great singer. She and Greg is a friend or something, because she plays and he solos, and they were just so nice to listen to. She does things in her style, her way, and she sounds fantastic. I wanted to get her on the show, but she's, she has one of those full-time job things. And so we're gonna work on finding a way to do something segment, because she
Yeah.
was and a great lady. A great lady, and her husband were just so nice, and her husband was great because they came back to listen to me for a little while, and I was my wife couldn't come, so I wasn't quite sure of the sound. This guy was nice enough to go into the back, listen for a little while, come back up and tell me how much I need to adjust everything. I was like, "Oh my gosh, you are so cool." And then after I adjusted it, he looked at me and went, and so I knew, because it's really hard to tell when you're up on stage, and
It is.
and he was so cool to do that for me. I was like, oh, so grateful. And they were just such nice people, and she is great to listen to.
Mhm.
She said, "We're going to do one of my favorite songs, Hotel California." And my first thought was, "Oh dear God,
Yeah.
here we go." But no, she did she kind of not changed it, but just did it her way. And it was great. I loved hearing her. So we're going to get her on. And I told her, when she's playing, I want her to let me know, because we want to make sure people come out to see her. She's great.
Absolutely.
She's
Yeah,
great.
for sure. Yeah, and we'll work something out, because we can do the show whenever we want.
Oh yeah, we have ways to do this now.
Yep.
Yeah.
For sure. And I've got some stories about some of our local businesses, including Rio Grande Winery.
Okay.
But before we get to that, we've been kind of just yammering for a while.
Yeah.
You've got your guitar.
I was saying it was your turn,
Crap. Well, let me see what I've got.
because I know you were working on something when I got here.
Oh, not that. That's a long way from being ready. Let me see. Where are my all albums? Yeah. I can probably put something together that won't completely embarrass me.
Okay.
It'll probably be something that I've done before.
That's okay. They've heard me do the same things over and over again.
So, yeah, you know what? I'm trying not to burn people out at like open mic with this, but it's one of my favorite songs ever. One of my favorite artists too, Cody Jinks.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you know what song this is?
Yeah.
Called "Cast No Stones." So I love this one. I cast no stones, and I build no wall. I tell the truth. Truth comes to call. I try to walk that narrow way. Sometimes I go over the line and I won't make it back till the next day. I cast no stones. What gives you the right to tell me my business? Good God, man, you're out of your mind. So put up your Bible, let me get mine. I'm not dragging the whole world to hell, wasting my time. I don't talk to Jesus as much as I should. Don't read the good book every day like I could. I like to stop at the end of the day. I pray that I hurt nobody and somebody new found their way. And I cast no stones. What gives you the right to tell me my business? Good God, man, you're out of your mind. So put up your Bible, or let me get mine. I'm not dragging the whole world to hell. You're wasting my time. the right to tell me my business. Good God, man, you're out of your mind. So put up your Bible, let me get mine. I'm not dragging the whole world to hell. You're wasting my time. So say a prayer for me, brother, and I'll see you on down the line. A little comfortable with that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Um,
Nicely done.
I'm happy I can actually do a little bit of that now.
Yeah.
One
It
of,
is.
one of the coolest things that happened was I got up and at open mic and played one night, and you come running up and says, "Dude, you were strumming." I've been working on it.
Yeah, that was cool.
So now what you came in earlier to was I'm in the middle of writing a very snarky little song.
Oh, okay.
That yes, somebody at the Open Jam is pushing me for. It's getting closer. We'll see how that works out. Name of it is we need to talk.
Yeah, that's cool. I have written a song, and it's very I wrote it when I was doing a lot at church, and I don't know why, I'm just afraid to play it in front of people because it's very
you shouldn't be.
something that I did because of the way I felt at certain times, and it was really cool. So I might do that. I might try and bring that out next time.
Yeah, you need to.
Yeah.
I have a hard time, and there's actually quite a few musicians in this area that do covers, and they've written original music, but they don't want to play it.
Yeah.
And I don't get that. I actually started taking lessons on guitar because I was writing stuff and I had no way to get it out. Nobody wants to sit there and listen to poetry in this town for the most part. So I'm sorry if you're a poet that wants to come out to open mic, still do it, but understand that people aren't going to receive it the same as if you put it to music, because that's just the town we live in.
Yeah, I know why those guys in the '60s used to have the dude on the bongos behind them when they were doing doing poetry.
But you got to have the turtleneck and the cigarette hanging out of your mouth.
Yeah, and then you had I remember Mitch Hedberg, a comedian, did an entire show with a dude on the upright bass playing behind him. It was the coolest thing.
Oh yeah,
he was so good.
And I discovered a band that I've seen them show up, but I haven't actually listened to them before. Called the Dead South. And they've got a song out called "In Hell I'll Be in Good Company." Really good song. Never seen them before, and it's 4 guys. 2 of them are vocalists. One of them plays banjo really well, and the other one, he's got a strap. He carries around and plays a mini bass. It's like an upright bass, but cut down in size.
A cello.
Very close. I think
a
it's
really big violin.
Yeah, it's a big size thing, but he's got this strap on, so he walks around and does this, and man, they're really good. We were talking about what's going on. Let's start with Rio Grande Winery and Josefina's Old Gate.
Yes,
because these are both tied together. So this is from believe it or not, we had something good come out of the Las Cruces Sun News. I write for the Las Cruces Sun News. I can criticize them.
Don't get started. Don't get them started.
I can criticize these guys. Not the best paper around, but occasionally, especially local stories. So less than a year after the restaurant received a new operator, Josefina's Old Gate, by the way, both of these places received new operators, same people. They've closed to the public. They were doing concerts out there.
They had musicians out there all the time,
and suddenly it just stopped. Well, that's why. What they are going to be doing is moving their business model to host and entertain private events at Josefina's. I think that's going to work out really great. It's a pretty little place for that.
It's a great place.
So that's what's going to happen there. Now, the people that own Josefina's, lease it anyway. They're also involved with Rio. They own Rio Grande Winery. Josefina's owner leased the restaurant to Randy McMillan. She's apparently taking it back. Randy McMillan owns Rio Grande Winery. It's very little confusing, but still. So Randy McMillan, Chris Lang, they're going to be making some changes
Mhm.
with Rio Grande. They're going to be playing off of each other. Wine and chili will be offered at Josefina's. Wine tasting bar set up there as well at the inn. Let's see, where was the details? Instead of, I don't want to get into that. That's unimportant. They'll be putting more attention, though, on the winery, Rio Grande Winery. Event booking has already increased and strained the kitchen at Josefina's. So they're going to make some changes, including they're going to, let's see, the kitchen was too small to provide meals for both businesses. Yeah, and it was even too small to sustain 3 meal services a day at Josefina's alone. So our employees in the kitchen at Josefina's Old Gate have been trying to accommodate the growth at the Rio Grande Winery. Hasn't worked out so well. So what they're going to do, Josefina's head chef will be moving to Rio Grande Winery, working with their winemaker over there, Richard McDonald, and the general manager, Eric Owens, on a new menu to pair with the wines that they're putting out.
Oh, wow.
Days of operation will also be expanding. Thank you. Their hours are very weird and
Yeah.
very small.
Yeah.
Always have been. So that'll be nice. The winery will also soon have a commercial kitchen.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, instead of having, the wine and cheese plate, that's about it. There'll be actual food stuff there, which will be cool. We plan to own and operate the inn and special event facility next to Josefina's Old Gate for smaller occasions. But we believe it's in the best interest of our employees and customers and owners to focus our efforts, and resources and provide incredible food and wine experiences on site at Rio Grande Winery. We're offering our employees opportunities at the winery and at the Fresh Chili Company to continue their employment with our organizations if they are interested, and many of them are. Cool. So basically, you're going to see an expansion at Rio Grande Winery. And the truth is, I've heard some good stuff and some bad stuff, depending on who you talk to about Rio Grande since the change in ownership. I don't know what's what. I haven't had a chance to get out there again, but J.R. Sandoval goes out there. I'll definitely be there.
They got some great acts to go out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're doing something right.
So that's going on.
That's wonderful.
The other big thing, and if you're not here in Las Cruces, you may not understand the importance of this, but this is very, very important to Las Cruces. Corner Deli closed its doors at the beginning of September, and we thought that was it.
Yeah.
Talk about entering a period of mourning.
For a lot of because that's just it's a great old style deli sandwich shop that has a vast amount of choices.
Yes.
If you go in there and you can't find a sandwich, you're just not trying.
Yeah. Well, just the preset sandwich. I think there's 25 different sandwiches on the board. It's a huge amount. Plus their hot sandwiches, plus their wraps. Just a huge thing. And some of the best, they use boar's head meat, which is just the best ever.
Yeah, that's really...
Well, Mark and Cindy Stevens owned Corner Deli, operated it for over 30 years. Yeah. They decided to retire. That's a long time to run a business. Didn't know what was going to happen. So Mike Best reached out to the Stevenses about acquiring the business, and he's been a Corner Deli customer since attending NMSU back in 2007.
Oh my gosh.
So he's addicted. He knows the place, knows the Stevenses. He's never operated a restaurant before, but has a background in business.
Okay.
I think plus he knows the model.
Yeah.
And he's not looking to change it. He says the menu, recipes, business model will remain the same. There will just be several new people behind the counter. He plans to spruce up the restaurant a bit. Kind of needs it. It's still pretty well old school from way back in the day.
Old school deli. That's why that's part of its charm, though.
Yeah, but it's kind of
hard.
hard.
I get it.
It's kind of hard to move around in. So who knows? It could use a little something.
I mean, if as long as he's gonna make sure that everything behind the counter stays the same, he can do whatever he wants with the rest of it.
He says he's going to be bringing back some former employees to help out as
Ooh.
well, so that'll help. They're looking to modernize the kitchen equipment
Okay.
as they go forward, a little bit at a time. Goal is to completely reopen the deli November 1st.
Wow, that's quick. Well,
Yeah.
then again, they just closed it,
Mhm.
so he's probably, they
Just
probably still
step
can,
in and go again.
So
Yeah.
that's really cool to keep a tradition alive and keep an old. I mean, that place is it's a small
Mhm.
independent mom and pop, great. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be nice. And watch out when that place reopens. You're not gonna get near it for a while.
Oh, I will wait in line.
Yeah.
When they were shutting down the last few days, they had lines out onto the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And it is so worth it. I mean, man, they're
Just
so good.
great ingredients. Everything they did was just tasted great. It was fresh. It was
Yeah.
quality. It was quality. That's the best part about it. That's why it was always so good.
Yeah. And as you're standing in line, you also take a look at little posters they have up, because if there's anything going on in the community, anything to help out any group, they'd put up posters for them. They'd sit there and publicize as much as they could. They'd sell tickets for different groups to help them out, whatever it took to help the community.
Oh yeah.
And I get the idea that Mike Best is going to go for a similar feel. I love this is a guy that knows the place and knows the people. So yeah, it's the corner of North Main Street and Madrid Avenue. If you want to check them out, of course, don't check them out today; they're not open yet. but
they will be. Keep an eye open.
Yeah.
Corner Deli in Las Cruces. You will not be disappointed.
It's awesome, and I'm so happy to see them opening up again.
That's great.
Personally, I can't wait for another Reuben. Although, if the lines are what they are, I may have to order a few sandwiches and put some in the fridge for later.
Absolutely, you can do that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's
some good news.
Cool.
That's good news. You got too many businesses that are closing, and although their business was not closing because they had to, they just decided to. Which was, I remember reading about that, and I thought, okay, at least it's their choice.
Yeah.
Because there's too many businesses that did not have a choice. I was one of them that almost didn't have a choice, but luckily I'm still open. But too many businesses have been shut down because they had to. So it was nice to see that they decided to. So that was nice.
Oh yeah.
But it's even better that they're not going to close and that they're going to, somebody's going to, it's one thing. And I'm sure that they probably had people that wanted it, but if they can't be sure, I'm pretty sure that I've never met them, but I'm willing to bet that they were people that if somebody wants to buy the business, but it will not continue to do it the way they did it, then they were not going to let it happen.
Yeah.
They were going to have to, buy the place and open their own place and start all over. But if they're going to open it and run it the way they did with their tradition, their menu, then they would be willing to do that. So I'm pretty sure that's the only way that was going to happen, is if they did it their way.
Well, they took a lot of pride in running that place a certain way.
Absolutely.
And
and it showed.
Yeah, it definitely showed. They were as quick as they could possibly be. You could see nobody got mad when you were waiting in line, because you saw what they were doing. You can see everything that they were doing, and people were just booking it back and forth, getting stuff.
They were working hard, and I was sorry for the wait. And I remember it was always like, it's okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and we've had a bunch of ugly news here in Las Cruces lately, so it's good to have something.
And that was another sad thing to happen. It was, even though it was a positive, because they were deciding to spend more time with family and enjoy themselves. But yeah, it was nice to hear that they're going to reopen.
Oh yeah,
that's great.
Yeah. Considering all the empty buildings that we've got, all the businesses that went out, and we lost a lot of businesses because of COVID and other things as well at the same time. Even before COVID, Fiesta Bakery, which was my favorite bakery, ended up going out, and that was a case of it wasn't COVID.
No,
it was the city and their construction,
their poor planning.
Yeah, put them pretty well out of business.
Sorry, I said that out loud, didn't I?
It's true. It's true. They were sitting there running on fumes. They pulled out their savings to keep the place open longer than they probably should have, and broke my heart. They were the best people. Well, they still are the best people.
Yeah, they're great people.
And
they didn't deserve that.
the best the best donuts, the best empanadas. They had pumpkin empanadas year round. Oh God, not that I need that. uh,
Yeah,
so
I get it.
but yeah, there's some good stuff going on here.
There is. It's great. There's some great stuff going on, and so just get out, enjoy. We have some great weather now. It's
Mhm.
not as hot. And this lasts, I think, into November. I think all month. It's so funny that I am so busy this month, the one month that I have the best weather, because man, let's say I started in November of last year. It was cold, and I
Mhm.
go through. I'd have places that wanted me to play, and it was windy and cold, and my wife would say, "Have fun, honey. I'm going home."
Yeah.
But yeah, this is gonna be it's gonna be a great month.
Oh
Great
yeah.
month.
Oh yeah. And of course, we were talking about Icebox Brewing Company over on Picacho.
Yep.
They've made some changes,
Mhm.
including getting in a new barbecue
Yeah.
place over there. So yeah, everything is kind of moving around
It's
nice.
it's it's coming back, and now we just need to have some simple restrictions lifted.
Man, I could go into that.
I know.
That could
I
be
mean,
a
I don't know if you saw. I made a post where because the mask mandate was going back into effect, and I bought a box of masks, and I look in the side, and it says not to be used in high bacteria or high virus areas.
uh-huh.
And I'm looking at this going, okay, what? I mean, we knew that, but it said it right on the box.
Hmm. Oh
Basically,
yeah.
this box says for what they want you to use it for, it's not going to work. But okay,
Yeah. Well,
I digress.
is what it is. But yeah, I think we've gone through quite a bit
Yeah,
today.
we went all over the place today.
Yeah. We're not quite at 10.
Mhm.
So if you'd like to play one more song,
Sure. Here's
I
another new one.
I won't beat you up too much once we're off the air.
Okay. There's another new one. I haven't played this one out much, but I don't know why I was obsessed with this song when I went through. I went through a tough time a while ago, and I got obsessed with this song. Bury me softly in this woe. I give this part of me for you. Sand rains down, and here I sit, holding red flowers in a tub. Down in a hole, and I don't know if I can be saved. See my heart, I decorate like a grave. You don't understand who they thought I was supposed to be. But look at me now, I'm a man who won't let himself be. Down in a hole, losing my soul. Down in a hole, losing control. I like to fly, but my wings have been so denied. Down in a hole, and they put all the stones in their place. I've eaten the sun, so my tongue has been burned up with taste. I have been guilty of kicking myself in the teeth. I will speak no more of my feelings beneath. Down in a hole, losing control. Down in night to fly. My wings have been so denied. Bury me softly in this world. I give this part of me for you. Sand rains down and here I sit, holding red flowers in a tub. Blue.
Cool,
Old
man.
Alice in Chains tune.
Love that.
Love that one.
One last thing to point out. I was contacted by somebody that we've had on the show before, Hammy Cruz. Careful there.
Yeah.
He is releasing a Christmas album on November 5th, digital release. If you're interested, you want to go check him out. His Facebook page, where he'll have the information, is Hammy Cruz. It's HAMI, and the last name is CREWS. So it's not the spelling for cruise you would expect. If you'd like to hear what he sounds like on other stuff, go to YouTube to Hammy Cruz Music, and it's got several things he's done, including maybe not. Actually, there's some stuff that he did. Apparently, he played at open mic at NM Vintage this past Monday. So there's some real recent stuff up there.
Yeah, go listen to him there, and then check it out. And I believe he has something else going on at New Year's Eve.
There's a New Year's Eve thing going on that I don't know a whole bunch about, but it's a pay-per-view thing that's going on. So
go out to his YouTube page and YouTube channel and listen to him, and check it out. And
proceed from there.
Yeah, so we've got. I've also got a podcast that my wife and I do. It's a Christian-based podcast, Bible-based, and it's called Simply Real Las Cruces. And we're also on YouTube, so you can check that out. And it's we're having a lot of fun with that.
Yeah,
we've learned how to not talk too much to where the podcast is over an hour. When we first started it, she said we're going to keep this to about 20-25 minutes. I said, okay, yeah. The first time we did it, 48 minutes, and then we decided, okay, let's try it again, 43 minutes. And we're like,
yeah.
So we gotten better. It's really hard because she has a lot to say.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to say. It's hard to say anything of substance in such a short amount of time.
Yeah, but we're getting better at it, and we're having a lot of fun. It's mainly for us to just kind of express how we feel, and we've been having fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, we do a song in the beginning, and Kathy sings with me, and it's always nice to be able to sing with your wife, and we have a good time. And I made her sing lead one episode, and she didn't think she sounded great. I thought she did, but the truth is we had fun. Mm-hmm. We're having a lot of fun. So,
you've given us a bunch of information, except you've left out one thing. Where do they find it?
Right. On Facebook, we're Real Talk Las Cruces. Mm-hmm. And also on, I think it's Real Talk LC is the @ Real Talk LC. And then on YouTube, that's where I base everything out of. And it's Real Talk Las Cruces. And we have a email address, realtalklascruces@gmail.com. You can message me and I'll forward a link.
Cool. And I'm about to restart my political show, The Midnight Ride. I would have started this past weekend, except I was shot by the time I got home.
Yeah.
But thankfully, I have been able to rework my intro and get the copyrighted music replaced with stuff that I've done, because now I can play a little bit.
And what can they expect?
It's conservative talk, and it's not Republican talk; it's conservative talk. Mm-hmm. So be aware. Depending on your stand, you might consider yourself to be conservative as well, and I may still upset you. But
an equal opportunity offender.
Oh yeah, I guarantee you, I've gotten threats of violence from both sides, so it's all good.
And it really shouldn't be that way. It should be like, well, I don't agree with them, so I'm not going to listen. That should be enough.
Yeah, but it doesn't work that way. So yeah, that's where we're sitting, and we'll have we're gonna do some revamping on the webpage, and that way we have links not only
Mhm.
to stuff that's going on with Enchantment Broadcasting, but stuff that you and I are doing,
Yeah.
stuff that other people that are in our
Yeah.
circle are doing as well,
Great.
and get links up for that sort of stuff as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're kind of chugging along.
Absolutely. It's been fun. This is good. Trevor,
And
we're sorry we missed you, but
yeah,
we'll have him on. We'll have him on as soon as he gets ready. As soon
yeah.
as he's ready.
Oh
Hopefully.
yeah,
He
yeah.
feels up to it.
Definitely.
And we have in the works of some other artists coming in
Hmm.
so that you're not listening to me all the time or him.
Yeah.
You're not listening to just us. And we want to get some people in here to just have some fun. We had a
Yeah.
great time with Truman last week.
Oh God, he's a
That
blast.
was a blast. So we want more shows like that. We want to do more, but it didn't go over well. Something happened, so we
Yeah.
got to get Dwight because man, that was great. Let's
Oh, yeah.
work on that.
For sure. Yeah, we'll get all that in. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
getting some dates that are already getting booked and approved.
That's great.
If you're interested in being on
Yeah.
the show,
And it's
you can
not just for
contact us.
musicians, also local businesses. We're going to talk about that. We're going to try and get the guy who bought what's his name?
Mike.
Mike. We're trying to get him. You're trying to get him so that we could talk about that. That would be a great story to have
Mhm.
up here.
Oh
That
yeah.
would be great.
So
So-
yeah, this isn't just about the
Yeah,
music
this is
scene.
about
It's
Las
about
Cruces
everything Las
culture.
Cruces. Yeah, and this whole area too.
Mhm.
We've got to consider El Paso as being our can I say redheaded stepchild? Not have him get too mad.
Well, maybe I don't know about that, but yeah, but still, we do. Yeah, we're so close to El Paso, and El Paso is
Oh yeah.
when somebody makes certain rules and we can't do it here, we just go to El Paso.
Oh yeah. There is that. All right. Well, you guys have a good week, and we'll see you next time. BJ, thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
Yeah, and
Thank you for having me. And we'll see you again on Roundtable.
Yep, sounds like a plan. And eventually we'll have closing music, but until then, yada 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 yada. Okay.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. That was good.